Good morning. Today we will start with new repertory, that is complete repertory, which was the author of this repertory, which was written by Dr. Roger van Zandvoort. Dr. Roger van Zandvoort, he was from Holland, and while practicing he was a well-known homeopathic practitioner. While practicing homeopathy nearly about in 1982, he started working on additions and corrections to Kent's repertory for his personal use. First, we will see the front page of this complete repertory. So, this is the front page of his complete repertory, and he is the author, Dr. Zandvoort. This is the aim to construct to form such work, very useful work, is to make a more mature work, integration of Boger Boningusen into Kent. So these are the aims of Dr. Zandvoort to construct this repertory. While, as I just told, that while practicing he was well-known practitioner, and while practicing he make new additions in Kent repertory, as well as he correct if there are some he want or he think there is need of correction in Kent repertory, then he make corrections in the Kent repertory for his personal use. And as the corrections which are previously made by while constructing the synthetic, as well as most in synthesis repertory, because the synthesis repertory, in synthetic repertory only some part of it was elaborated, but in synthesis repertory almost all rubrics as well as all medicines from Kent repertory it is taken as it, and the new additions are made in Kent repertory while constructing the synthesis repertory. So when he was making corrections, he was making additions, then he think that it was previously done while constructing the synthetic as well as synthesis repertory, and so he go into deeply, and he compare the information from different sources, as well as he make many new additions in it, and form a new repertory, that is this complete repertory. The first edition of this repertory, it was published in about 1996. One of his colleague, Dr. Zandvoort's colleague and student of Dr. Punzli, that is Dr. Doris, he was not satisfied with the existing repertories which are present at that time, which are exist at that time, and he think that Boger Boningusen's repertory, it is a real great work of Dr. Boger, because in BBCR, in Boger Boning Hussein's repertory, we found almost all type of symptoms which we cannot found anywhere. So he was not satisfied with any other repertories which are present at that time, because according to Dr. Doris, BPCR Boger Boning Hussein's characteristic repertory, it is like a gold mine. We can repertorize any type of case with the help of BPCR, and in between or at that time, with the use of Kent repertory, one homeopathic software, that is Mac repertory, it was get published, and the Mac repertory was published. And at that time, during that time, after publication of Mac repertory, there was one seminar, and at that time Dr. Zandvoort and Dr. Kunzli, they both are well known practitioners, and they both decide to make one such repertory which is having a matured work, which is having, or most of the corrections which we found in Kent repertory as well as BBCR, which are the most complete or most useful repertories. So by making all the corrections and additions, they both decide, that is Dr. Zandvoort, Robert Van Zandvoort and Dr. Joost Kunzli, they both decide to construct one repertory which should be complete one. There are, or the work, it should be matured. We cannot found easily any mistakes in that new repertory which will be constructed. So they accept the challenge to make such repertory, and they started to working on it. And they combine, or they refer many repertories, the most important repertories at that time as well as today also we are using these repertories. That is the basis for constructing this repertory. Complete repertory is the main source is Kent's repertory, then Boger Boning Hussein's characteristic repertory, then Boger's additions to Kent's repertory, and Boric Materia Medica and repertory. So these are the main sources of this complete repertory, that is Kent's repertory, BBCR, Boger's additions to Kent's repertory, and Boric Materia Medica and repertory. As well as they also collect the information, the important information from all the repertories which were present at that time, including synthetic repertory also. But these four are the main sources of complete repertory. Remember the Kent repertory, BBCR, Booker's additions to Kent repertory, and Borik's Materia Medica and repertory. These are the most important sources of complete repertory. Dr. Zandvoort and Dr. Kunzli, they started working in about 1990. They accepted the challenge to to write or to construct such complete repertory in 1990, and since that time, the since the year 1919, they have started their work, and after 6 years collaboration, the book was first time published in 1996. By constructing this repertory, many homeopaths, many practitioners, they help Dr. Zandvoort, and as the main source is Kent repertory and BBCR, but all the rubrics as well as all the remedies from Boker Bonning-Hussein's repertory, they are not included, as the main source of synthesis repertory is Kent repertory. So in that synthesis repertory, all the rubrics as well as all the remedies of Kent repertory they have taken for while constructing the new repertory, and they added many new rubrics as well as remedies in it. But though Kent repertory and BBCR as well as Boger's addition to Kent repertory, Borik's Materia Medica and repertory, they are the main sources, but all the rubrics and remedies from BPCR, they are not included in this complete repertory. But only the remedies which are verified clinically and the rubrics which are useful for repertorization by using Kent's method of repertorization, they are only included in this work, in this repertory. So not all the rubrics, not all the remedies from BPCR it was included, but only the remedies are included which are clinically proven or verified, not proven, sorry, it was clinically verified, as well as the rubrics which are useful for repertorization when we are using the Kent's method of repertorization. So only those remedies are, those rubrics are included in this new work of Dr. Zandvoort. The importance of this repertory is it started to be used commercially in homeopathic software programs such as Mac Repertory, after Mac Repertory, Kara, and Homeopath. In this also, this complete repertory it was used. So the importance of this repertory is commercially in homeopathic software program like Mac Repertory, Kara, and Homeopath, it was used. and as it was published in with the name that is complete repertory, but after 20 years, till 20 years there were new editions which were published, and after 20 years in 2003 the latest edition which was published, the name for this edition it was given, that is Repertorium Universale. So the Repertorium Universale, which was published in 2003, is the latest repertory or latest complete repertory. In this repertory, we found many rubrics which we cannot found easily anywhere related to mind, like patient is repeatedly asking the receptionist when her turn will come. If this was the symptom, that is, patient is repeatedly asking. Many times when we go to hospital or when we observe the patients in the waiting room, some patients are restless, some patients they are sitting relaxedly, some patients they are asking some questions about doctors, how was the result of this doctor, and so on. So he was continuously searching, or he was continuously collecting information about doctor and hospital. So different type of people we found in the waiting room. So in the same way, if the patient is repeatedly asking the receptionist when her turn will come, then for such patient, we found or we use the rubric like hurry or haste. For all type of these personalities, there is different rubrics. So in the same way, for the patient is repeatedly asking the receptionist when her turn will come, the rubric we use is hurry or haste, which is given on page number 218 in complete repertory. Patient paces about in the waiting room, does not sit down and walks in circle. Some patients are restless. They cannot able to sit at one place. They are continuously walking, and especially they walks in circle. So for that the rubric is walk, circle, walk in a. So that was we found on page number 363 in this repertory. First, many times the patient is restless. He was continuously or repeatedly asking when her turn will come. But finally, when her name is called, she is quite unaware of the surrounding and then may suddenly say, "Oh, it is my turn." So, for such patients, the rubric we use is unobserving. Many times some people they are playing with mobile game, or they are searching something in mobile, or they are sitting quietly and they are unaware of the surrounding, what is going on, what the other peoples are doing, when he's how many time for his turn. So they were totally unaware and they were only in their own world. So for such patient, finally when her name is called, she is quite unaware of the surroundings and then may suddenly say, oh, it is my turn. So we use for such patients rubric, that is unobserving, which we found on page number 360 in complete repertory. So our observation is very much important. When how the patient enters in your clinic, how he was, the way of sitting, the way of talking, our observation, all observation is very much important, and they give the exact idea about the nature of the patient. So observation while taking the case is most important thing from the physician side to find out the how the person was. Then while sitting on the sofa, she may ask other patient as to how the doctor is. Is he good? Does he cheat his patients? Does he prescribe steroids in homeopathic medicines? So as I told previously, that is they are they are curiously asking these questions, but many people they are suspicious. They doesn't have faith on anybody, so they continuously asking such questions to other patients who are also sitting in the waiting room. For such patients, we use the rubric suspicious and mistrustful. Patients, this is not only examples but routinely while taking the case, while observing the persons, we observe the person properly, then we get easily how that person is, how that person may be. We get the idea about the personalities. So these are some examples find out the rubrics from our observations, how we get the rubrics in this complete repertory with our observations. So while sitting on sofa, she may ask other patient as how the doctor is is he good, or does he cheat his patients, does he prescribe steroids in homeopathic medicines. So the rubric for such patient is we use the suspiciousness, mistrustful, and these rubrics we found on page number 336 in complete repertory. So in this way we have to convert our observation into rubric. We have to convert the patient's symptoms or the patient's language into the repertorial language. Then there are many special features, as all repertories they are having some special features. This repertory is also having some special features. In this repertory there are about 41 chapters, and as we know the main source is Kent Repertory BBCR. So while constructing this repertory, Dr. Zahanford he used the Kent's order of arrangement. He used the Kentian arrangement, that is anatomy. He arranged the chapters according to Hahnemannian scheme, according to anatomical division of the body. like head pain, smell, taste, speech, voice, extremity pain. So in this way, the from head to foot, all these 41 chapters they are arranged in this repertory, and it contains information from all the existing repertories. Though there are four main sources of this repertory, but they also does not ignore the other repertories. They have collected the important information from all other repertories which are present at that time, and they made corrections in various sources and they added in their repertory. And as we know, there are most problems faced by Dr. Kent. There are more points of criticism in Kent repertory, and they are solved by making changes in this repertory. As for example, the arrangement of rubric, Dr. Zandvoort make changes than the Kent repertory in this repertory. As for example, in Kent repertory, most important word they are written at the end of that rubric. As for example, in Kent repertory, if there is pain during urination, it was given under pain rubric, and in front of that sub rubric is during urination. But in this in this complete repertory, they have changed the pattern of writing down the rubrics, sub rubrics, and they give or they brought the most important words at the beginning. So in this rubric and subrubric, pain during urination. So when there is pain during urination, so urination is the important word, and so in complete repertory it changed to pain, then subrubric is urination during, so that we can easily find out and we can easily understand what is important in that rubric and subrubric. Then many old terminologies in medical field, it was replaced by new terminologies or modern terminologies. That is, in the previous repertory, in French repertory, there was the rubric miscarriage. For the rubric miscarriage, it was replaced by rubric abortion in complete repertory. Then the rubric micturition in Kent repertory, it was replaced by urination in complete repertory. Then remedy abbreviation was also verified, examined. The grades are revised in this repertory. The four grades are given to medicines like synthetic repertory, as we studied the synthetic repertory previously. In synthetic repertory also there are four grades. So like in this repertory also, complete repertory also, there are four grades. The first grade or 4-mark medicines, they are written in capital bold letters. Then The 3 mark or second grade medicines, they are written in capital letters. The 2 mark or third grade medicines, they are written in bold italic letters or bold italic typography. And the 1 mark or fourth grade medicines, they are written in ordinary Roman letters or ordinary Roman typography. So in this way, there are 4 grades and they are written, we found in different way of typography. It was written in this repertory. So the grades of the medicines, grades of the medicines, they are also revised, they are also changed than the Kent repertory. As we all know, in Kent repertory there are only 3 grades, but in this repertory we found the 4 grades. Many in this complete repertory, the mind section is very much elaborate and very much useful to find out the rubrics related to mind. So to recognize, to find out the rubrics related to mind, and this repertory, the complete repertory is very much useful, as well as the other rubrics, the rubrics related to other parts of the body, they are also we found in this repertory. Like mental generals are very given in very elaborate way, as well as we found the physical generals, as well as excuse me, as well as particular symptoms also in different sections. So the sections in this repertory are 41, and in those 41 sections, the different parts or different organs of the body, it was under that different organs, the symptoms related to that organ, it was given. So some examples of rubrics related to mind and related to other generalities or other parts we discuss in short. That is dreams, which are included under section mind. Speech and voice, it is having the separate chapter in this repertory. Then talking, talks are combined into rubric talk. Then aversion and desire for food included in generalities section. In this way, many rubrics or rubrics related to different things, how it was given in this repertory we discussed. Then many places in Kent repertory we found that under sub-rubrics many remedies are there, many remedies which are given, they are not given under the main rubric or under the of indicated remedies in front of that rubric. So this point was also covered by Dr. Zandvoort. That is the main rubric which always include all the remedies which are found in their sub-rubrics. those remedies which we found in the sub-rubric of this, under any rubric, the remedies which we found under sub-rubric, we found under the main rubric, the group of remedies which are given under the main rubric. We also found there the name of that remedy which was given. Then more number of rubrics as well as cross rubrics, references which are added than the previous repertories, that is Kent or BBCR. Many rubrics, many cross rubrics, references are added in this repertory, in this work of Dr. Zandvoort. There are also addition of many medicines in this book. With the addition of rubric, there is addition of medicines also, and total number of medicines in this book are about 1171. So total number of medicines in this excuse me, total number of medicine in this repertory are about 2171. So in this way, these are some special features, these are some important points regarding this complete repertory. That is, it was arranged according to arrangement of this, the plan construction of this repertory is according to Kent's repertory, according to anatomical division of body. All the sections they are arranged in this repertory. Then in this repertory there are about total 41 sections or chapters. And as in Kent repertory, we found that there are 5 subsections in the section urinary organ. But in complete repertory, we found these 5 subsections as a separate section in the complete repertory. The main, as we know, there are 4 main sources of this book, that is Kent repertory, BBCR, Boger-Boning-Hussein characteristic repertory, Boger's additions to Kent repertory, and Borik's Materia Medica and repertory. But then also the other repertories, the important information they have collected from the other repertories which were present till that time, the repertories which are existing, they have collected the important information from those repertories also. They have made many changes in Kent repertory. So we discussed which changes they make in Kent repertory and how they changes the pattern of rubric, then terminologies, how they added different remedy abbreviations, different rubrics, different remedies. So the most important word they brought in the beginning while writing down the rubric and sub-rubric, The older terminologies was replaced by modern medical terminologies. The remedy abbreviations have been examined. The grades of remedies are revised because in Kent repertory there are 3 grades, but in this repertory, Dr. Zandvoort, he gave 4 grades. Then the main rubric, which include all the remedies, which always include all the remedies which we found in the sub-rubric. And as there are addition of many rubrics, many medicines, many cross rubrics as well as references, in this repertory we found about 2171 total number of medicines. So this is all about the complete repertory, and as we discussed, the Repertorium Universale is the latest repertory. The name of complete repertory, it is given as Repertorium Universale in 2003. Yes. And this is the latest repertory which was written by Dr. Robert Zandvoort. And in this work, they included the rubrics from Hussein's works into Kentian structured repertory, because as we know, the plan construction of this complete repertory is according to Kent, according to or like the Kent's repertory. So as it was constructed, it was structured like Kent repertory, but then also in this Repertorium Universale, which was published in 2003, he included many rubrics from Dr. Hussein's work. And in detail about this Repertorium Universale, we discussed in the next lecture.